This is Charlie giving you Friday's market commentary and hopefully some live trading today. It is just coming up to 8 o'clock UK time. I'm looking at Aussie dollar this morning, and I'm going to be looking at Euro this morning. So they're the two markets I'm going to be looking at. I'm looking at the long side on both of those markets. It's just a case of we had such good moves yesterday to the upside. Now it's just a case of identifying where I may be able to find some entries and at what point these markets may make their move. I'm hoping that they're going to make their move today. Euro at the moment is pulling back quite nicely this morning. Aussie's holding up. Here's an hourly chart here. So I'm looking for the Aussie. I'm looking for a bit of seeing if we can get a run on Aussie dollar at some point. I'm just waiting for the momentum to switch around, so and get that all sorted out. So it's got to come a bit higher yet before I can come in, get into that, before it ticks the boxes. And euro dollar's in a different format in that it's in pullback mode, and so it's a case of, do I want to buy this pullback? I could sit in it all day long, and maybe euro is going to pull back for 24 hours and not actually go back up again until Monday. So that's no good for the video update, if you see what I mean. So euros trade, if I was to trade euro, then that may be the case. Anyway, for now I'll stop blabbering. We'll pause because nothing's happening right now, and we'll come back to this in a bit. Okay, so Aussie's coming up here. It's now just coming up to 8:15. So I wanted it to come up. The momentum's still not perfect, I must admit. 30-minute chart's not great, but overall the direction's there. So I'm going to give it a go here this morning. It could be one of those cases where it comes up into the prior highs and rolls all the way over and all of that. So we'll give it a go today. So we'll just put a couple of lots in. Let's break this down into half lots. That's what I was thinking about. So if I get overall get two lots in, it may want to pull back to the bands yet, so it could well do that. But I've put these in anyway because just as we've turned the momentum on the 15-minute charts turned at the moment, but like I said, we haven't quite turned on the 30-minute chart, so it's not a perfect chart by any means. But then again, so much of the time they're not. But overall, the trend's good. So we're going to see if we're going to get this break. If it can break out, then great. So when we're going to put my stop, so I've got in let's call it around about 70. So let's bring the account over. Bear with me a second. Let's get it all showing. Okay, so right, so there we go. So here's our entries. So we've got one entry here at 100,000 in at 69, then two 50s at 69 and 70. Right, okay, so we'll call it 70 as an entry. I haven't put the stops in yet, so let's go and have a look at stops. Now I could have been patient and waited to see if we were going to get a pullback, but then sometimes it doesn't happen, it just carries on going. So like I said, we could want to pull back to the lower band. So I've got to give it a bit of slack. So I'm going to put my stop. I'm going to give it a 20-point stop today. So 20-point stop. I'll have to work out how much that's going to be. So it's about £280 at risk. So it's only a small risk really on this trade. So we're just going to give it a go. But it's £280 of risk for more than that of reward, because first target, like I said, would be up at around about that 91, 98 zone, and then see if I can then get a runner from there. So so the risk reward's good on it. So it's just a case of seeing if at the moment I was giving it a bit of a go. Sometimes what can happen is you can have a first move up into prior highs, and then it sort of rolls over, comes all the way down, and then it comes back up again later. So it could be one of those sort of days. Now bear in mind, I've only got until probably about 11:30 to get this video all wrapped up today, because I'm off to a wedding this afternoon at lunchtime. So I've just got to see if I can get anything out of this market. So for now, I'm going to put a stop down there, and we'll come back to this. Just back. Yeah, we've had a bit of a flurry since I got in. So you know, it's all very, very small. We've only put two lots in today, but if we get a bit of a runner, we can still make a good few hundred. I'm a bit suspicious of it. Let's go out to the hourly chart. It's building. The 30-minute momentum charts are starting to trying to go positive. We just need to get a bit more of a run. Really, it just seems to be a little bit slow. But that's the markets possibly. These summer markets. It's not exactly really gone for it just yet, but we'll soon see if it is on. As he says it, now we go up to 82, so you never know. So wanted to see that bit more of a break, and looks like here it is coming now. So that's what I wanted to see, really get a bit of a thrust going rather than just going up and then going sideways for 10 minutes, which is what it did there. So like I said, I've put a limit order in. Let's bring the account up. I've put a limit order in on that first half at 98, where the daily 50 is, and then what we'll do is then we'll just trade manage the second two or the 2 quarters there. So that's the idea with this. So I haven't really got anything to do with this other than to see where it goes. I mean, I guess I'm going to start to trail the stop up, so I could move the stop up a bit. We could probably start moving up to about 58 or something like that. I'm just below this 5-minute 50, so we could do that. So I'll do that in a second. But other than that, at the moment, I shall leave you to it, and we'll see how this is going to go. Okay, just back. Unfortunately, we've got a divergence here, quite a decent divergence against these highs. So I'm going to... well, I've got a choice. I can either just move my stop up, or I can actually take something off. So I think what I'll do is I'll just move my stop up to 70 now. So I'm going to move it up quite dramatically up to break even, and so then whatever happens, it's a break even trade. So we'll just do that. Move the stops up. So the 57, 56, 56. Let's just move these stops up to 70. So basically up to break even. Hopefully the market's going to carry on going higher, but you just as we've got the divergence in place, sometimes I would just take the profit off and take some profit off there, but to be perfectly honest, I don't feel like it's enough to warrant it. I've gone in with a smaller position here in order to try and get that runner, so I'd rather not take profit off there. When I'm trading normally in normal markets, I'm trading with bigger size, then yeah, you still think okay, it's worthwhile, I can do that. But at the moment, when I'm only trading 2 lots here today, I'd rather just give it the slack, move the stop up to break even, and see if it's going to continue to go higher, rather than just in case it ignores that divergence. But because the divergence is in place, that's why I've moved that stop up. So hopefully it can continue up. We're looking at 98 is that first target, remember. And actually I've put the second target in for one of these. I've put it in at 92.17, which if I show you on the charts, if I zoom out to the hourly charts, 92.17 is these highs over here. This high over here. So, and then after that, we need to come out to the daily chart. So let's do that. And the daily chart, we've got 93 up at all of these highs. So I'm really going to try and get that run on the final amount. So it's still going to be a half decent run on the first amount here if it can get up there. So it's going to be what, 30 points on this first half if it can get there. If it can get up to 98, it'll be best part nearly 30 points. And then on that quarter, it'll be at 92.17. If it can get up to there, it's going to be 47 points, and then it's going to be on the final one, if it can get up to 93. I don't know if that will happen today, but if it can swing up there into Monday, then it'll be well over, obviously it'll be about 130 points. So that's what we're looking at the moment. So we'll just see how this is going to go. But there is a divergence in place right now, so we're just going to see if that is going to interrupt the flow here. But I've moved the stop up to break even, cannot lose, and we'll just take it from there and see what happens. Right, well, it's still sitting around here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as an opportunity to probably nip down to the gym. I'll see what's happening later on. Right, just back. Obviously, I got stopped out there. That divergence did kick in. Just got back from the gym, and so yeah, break even pretty much. Looks at things, yeah, -7 net. So that's all right. So it's break even trade. But what you have to ask yourself is sometimes when the markets are come down or whatever, is has anything much changed? And I don't, as regards to my overall analysis, and the answer to that is no. So I'm going to look for another trade here as we're coming down, and the potential, let's have a quick look, is would it want to come down and flush this low out? Sometimes it might want to do that and then come all the way back up. I'm still looking for the Aussie dollar to potentially come back up, you see. So at the moment, let's just zoom in a little bit. So yes, I'm looking for, okay, well, where's my next entry going to be? Well, I know what I'm going to be looking for. So what I'm looking for is for the price to come back into the bands, and when it comes back into the bands and then comes to test the lower band, then I'll look to go back in again. So because nothing at the moment's changed, we've still got positive momentum on the higher time frame. So I stay with that analysis. So all this could be is just a bit of a flush, and that's it. So for now, I'm just going to press pause, and then we'll be looking to go back in here. Now, whether I get to complete this today, it could be that I get in the position, and then we have to then just leave it, put some targets in, and that will be it, and wrap the video up. That could well happen because of time constraints today on me getting this video done before I have to leave. But anyway, for now, we'll just press pause and see what happens here. Okay, so it's come into the band, so I'm looking for it just to dip down to the lower band, and then we'll start. And I've got them in 50,000 increments, so because you can then have separate orders all the way up. So that's what we'll be looking to do. So just as it blips down to the lower band, we'll put in. I think we'll put 2 lots in, and we'll do it with about 20 point stop again, and we'll see if how we get on with that. So stop will be down at around about let's say around about 40. And so risking around about 200 whatever it is, £280 again initially, and see if that can work out. So we're just going to press pause. I thought it was about to come down for the lower band, so let's see if we can get that entry, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so it looks like it's going to hopefully come down for this lower band now. Like I said, I'm splitting these up. The temptation is to just put the 1 lot in down here. Now bear in mind the risk reward's going to be even greater now, but put the 1 lot in down here, and then get another lot in, and maybe buy in as we go up, and there's all sorts of things I can do. But I'd like to get 2 lots in because I just don't know how long it's going to take, and I might be gone. So I'd rather just have 2 lots in, and hopefully it doesn't come down too far. So I still think that we've got that positive momentum in the background, and that this has got the potential at least to have that run. Now if I'm wrong, then it doesn't mean, again, that doesn't mean to say that it can't come up on Monday or maybe late today. You just don't. It's just we've got no news out until lunchtime anyway today, so it could just play around for a while yet. So let me just press pause. It's still not come down to lower band yet. Okay, here we go. So let's start getting them in. Just about there, yeah. 1, 2, 3. So what I'm basically doing is just using this as an excuse to establish a long, because obviously on the 5-minute chart it's coming down, but it's come back within the bands, and then when it's come in and then retested the lower band, I'm just using that as an excuse. It doesn't mean to say it can't roll over here, just using it as an excuse at this point to see if we're just going to then what I'm looking for. So I've got those 4 in, we'll bring them up in a minute. What I'm looking for is, oh no, I can't do that. Let's move this across. Yeah, is the potential for this to play around for probably a few hours ahead of the news, and then hopefully later on today then start creeping its way back up there and going for those targets. That's my idea, and hopefully while it's playing around, it doesn't come down to my stop down at. I'm going to put it down at. I'll give it 20 points. So let's have a look at the entries, and we'll put the stop there. So let's bring the. Let's just get this back over. Right, okay. Right, so there's our entries. So the entries are at 61, 60, 60, 60. So we need to put our stop at 41 to be 20 points. Okay, so that's giving it enough slack. So I'll just put the stops in. I'll press pause while I'm doing all that, but let's just do that now. Okay, so I've got all the stops in, so they're all in at 41 there, and I need to start putting some targets in. So let's go back to the charts first of all. So we've got, like I said, that first target up at 98 is really what I'm looking for. Now we have put this high in here. I could use that as a potential target to take something off, so I could do that. We're at 61, that'd be at 86 or whatever it's at, so it's 20 odd points on a quarter of the position. Then take a quarter off at 98, a quarter off at 17, and then run a quarter. So I think that's what we'll probably do. So the risk reward's good at that point, because even to get to there, it's 20, like I said, 20 odd points, and our risk is 20 points on the whole lot. So that's fine. So let's put this in. So the first one, let's put the limit in at 86, 91, 86. Okay, so that's the limit on that one. Then we've got the second limit in at 98. I can probably just do this. 98, which is that daily 50. Then we've got a third limit at 92.17, which is those prior highs, and the third limit we'll put up at 93. So we've got, it's quite nice actually. Risk reward's good on it across the board, like it was earlier on as well. So we're just going to see. So I've got 2 lots in here in total, and I've managed to, by putting them into small increments, break up the potential profit targets. Now, the only other thing is, if we get up to 86, although I'm going to look to take, obviously put a limit in there to take some profit off at 86. Is there any point where I might say, well, I wouldn't mind actually adding to the position? So let me just do some analysis and I'll come back to that. Yeah, I think I'll just having a look at the charts, and if we can get back up, if we put this back to an hourly chart, if we get it back up to that pretty much into the 91.90s, so I'll put an order up there, then it looks increasingly like we're going to get a decent break. So I'm going to put another order, so it's put a buy stop order in. Now, although I'll have taken profits off, because so that gives me a buffer zone, I'm going to put another order in to buy. So put a buy stop in at 91, in the 91, mid 91. So just a bit before. So we put it in at 92. There you go, 91, 92, and then so I'll have taken some profit off to bank some profit, and then I'll open a new order would get opened up there. We'll put a stop in if we get up to 91, 92. I think I can afford to put a stop in at around about 72, because it should just want to go by then, so we'll do that. So let's put a stop in, a 20-point stop in on that. Actually, I can probably put a little bit, give it a little bit more slack there. We'll put it in at 70, because it's only a 50,000 half lot there. So let's put that one in, and that one I'll leave free, leave that one open. There we go. So orders in. So there you have it. So we've got a plan of action. So back to the 5-minute chart. It is now 11:15. We're just going to see what happens. I suspect we're going to faff around and probably come down maybe again yet and play around. And but what I'm looking for is that ultimately to creep our way back higher again. That's the plan anyway. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and we'll reassess it on Monday. Right, I'll press pause for now. Okay, just back. It is now 12:30. I'm going to have to call this pretty much a wrap because of where we are. You can see that we've come up since I got in that lower band down there. We've come up. It didn't quite get to that first target 86, I don't think. No, I'm just looking at my trades off screen. So I'm just going to leave all of this. So let's have a look at it for now. This is where the accounts are, where the trades are. If we get up there, if we get the run, basically this could be a nice £1,000 plus day, but I just don't know yet. If I lose, I'll lose about 280 quid, I think. So what I'll do is I'll post it up onto Facebook, onto our Facebook page tomorrow when I get back, and just so I can show you the accounts as to what actually happened and where what I either made or lost. So I'll post it up tomorrow. So for now, have a fabulous weekend, and we'll come back with full market commentary on Monday.